If you've been scrolling through endless espresso machine reviews, comparing dual boilers to single boiler setups, and still feel that knot in your stomach wondering whether you'll end up with a coffee maker that sits half-used on the counter, you're not alone. The decision feels especially heavy when you consider that a good espresso machine can be a nightly ritual or a kitchen eyesore, depending on how well it fits your routine. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's break down the Breville Dynamic Duo Dual Boiler Espresso Machine paired with the Smart Grinder Pro and see if the package actually lives up to the hype, or if you'd be better off putting that money toward a simpler solution. First off, this isn't just a machine, it's a two-piece system that tries to bring a Keflavell workflow into a home kitchen. The dual boiler design means you can pull a shot while steaming milk at the same time, which is a claim that sounds perfect for latte lovers who don't want to wait between pulls. In real-world use, the simultaneous extraction does shave off a few minutes compared to a single boiler that needs to cool down before switching to steam. If you're the type who makes a double espresso, then a cappuccino, and then a quick macchiato for a guest, the time savings become noticeable. On the flip side, that extra capability comes with a larger footprint and a higher price point, so it only makes sense if you actually intend to use both functions in the same session on a regular basis. The grinder component, the Smart Grinder Pro, is where the smart part of the package tries to shine. It offers 60 grind settings, ranging from fine espresso to coarse French press, and an automatic dosing feature that can be programmed to dispense the exact amount you need for a 22-gram dose. In practice, that means you can set it once, walk away, and have a consistent dose each time without fiddling with a scoop. For someone who values repeatability, say, a home barista trying to perfect a single-origin espresso profile, the grinder can be a game-changer. However, the grind size adjustments aren't linear. Moving the dial a few clicks can sometimes feel like a bigger jump than expected, especially around the espresso range. If you're a beginner who isn't comfortable tweaking grind size by feel, you might find the learning curve a bit steep. One of the hidden trade-offs with the dual boiler system is the warm-up time. Even though the two boilers heat independently, each one still needs to reach its target temperature around 200 F for extraction and 266 F for steam. In my testing, the machine took roughly 4 minutes to be ready for a full espresso and steamed milk workflow. That's acceptable if you start your morning ritual a few minutes before you need the drink, but it's less ideal if you're in a rush or want an instant shot at 8 a.m. Some users mitigate this by keeping the machine on a low keep warm setting overnight, but that does add a small amount of extra energy consumption. Another practical consideration is the water tank size. The reservoir holds about 2 liters, which sounds generous, but when you factor in both brewing and steaming, you can find yourself refilling after just a handful of drinks. This isn't a deal-breaker for most households, but for a small office or a family that drinks multiple drinks per day, you'll want to keep an eye on that. The tank is removable, which makes refilling easy, but it does sit on the side of the machine and can be a bit awkward to maneuver in cramped countertops. Now let's talk about who will truly benefit from this combo. If you're a coffee enthusiast who has already experimented with a basic espresso machine and wants to step up to precise temperature control, consistent dosing, and the ability to produce caf-quality microfoam, the Dynamic Duo package is a logical next step. It shines for latte art practitioners because the 266 F steam pressure produces a silky, velvety foam that holds its shape, and the dual boiler ensures that the espresso extraction stays stable while you're frothing. It also appeals to the third-wave crowd, people who care about bean origin, grind nuances, and extraction timing, because the machine offers both volumetric shot control and manual timing, letting you dial in a specific flow rate for a particular bean. Conversely, if your coffee habit is more about a quick, decent shot before heading out, or you only occasionally make milk-based drinks, the package may feel overkill. A quality single boiler or a semi-automatic machine paired with a simpler burr grinder can deliver a solid cup for a fraction of the cost and with a smaller footprint. Also, if you're not comfortable spending time learning the grind settings, dialing in pre-infusion, and managing 2 separate boilers, you might end up with a machine that gathers dust while the grinder sits idle. On the strength side, the combination delivers real consistency. The auto-dose feature of the grinder, coupled with the 58mm portafilter that holds a full 22-gram dose, means you're less likely to encounter the under-extracted or over-extracted shots that plague beginners. The low pressure.